So plucky Ukraine won Eurovision, taking a break from fighting Russia to join in with a war against music itself. This means they host next year, but what if the conflict is still going on? Imagine how big the loss to music would be if a missile hit the venue. 0. I don't watch Eurovision myself. I only knew it was on because I noticed a sudden drop in traffic on Grindr. The government has announced plans to cut 91,000 civil servant jobs. Jacob Rees-Mogg is in charge, but for him, a civil servant is any butler that doesn't flick the V's the moment his back's turned. A lot of civil servants are still working via Zoom. I'm not sure how we'll know if they're on strike or just buffering. The government voted against plans for a windfall tax on gas and oil companies. I confess, heating is less of a problem for a middle-aged man like me, as some days I look down and find I'm just wearing a fleece. No idea how that happens. Lib Dem leader Ed Davey said, "This really doesn't matter, does it? Let's just skip past this bit." It looks like Ukrainian refugees could be sent to Rwanda if they come via Northern Ireland. However, if Liz Truss scraps the protocol, they could move freely around the UK if they're dressed as a giant pork pie. Should we be sending Channel migrants to Rwanda? They're crossing in decrepit boats, they're living off little money, and they have barely edible food. Can't they work for P&O? The new Calvin Klein ad campaign features a pregnant transgender man. All I'll say to the happy couple is, don't get your hopes up. He's a guy. There's a chance it might just be a fart. I assume he's pre-op, certainly hope so, else the baby risks being 15 foot long and the width of a chopstick. The Queen officially opened the Elizabeth line. Her Majesty was the perfect choice, as it's also expected to be plagued by mobility issues. It's actually named the Elizabeth line as construction started shortly after the original one came to the throne in 1558. The Queen was handed an Oyster card with £5 credit, which she's expected to use to soften the blow when telling Andrew he no longer has use of a royal car.